and eventually some of these things go into policy making as well. Some of you might have tuned in today in the morning attending the budget session. Several of those things which eventually impact the larger country as such and different industries are also policies that some of the researchers work on. So as academicians, we have several interests, and one of those interests is to solve these interesting problems. As also as part of this PhD program or being part of academia, you interact with the best minds of the country as well as world. You interact with different people as part of your or as part of your work, while doing research, while going and attending conferences, and also as part of extending your work while discussing with different participants in the classroom or when you do executive programs as well. So this is also considered to be one of the jobs or avenues where you have a very good work-life balance. And this work-life balance, I have put a question mark there, trying for us to figure out. I'm assuming that once you come over here, you yourself can figure out whether there is enough work-life balance or there is lack of that. But there is another benefit, while not many people talk about, especially those who have done PhD would know about this particular thing, as well as those who are currently having positions of academia. One of the things that you have as a perk of this as academia is to travel around the world, right? So as part of your conferences, as part of your work, you get to travel to different places, meet very interesting people, and if you are doing your full-time PhD program or once you become an academician, most of the institutions also support you to travel international locations for your conferences as well. So these will be fully funded by the or by the institution that you are part of. Right? IIM Trichy have a very handsome funding, especially for our full-time doctoral students as well as for faculty to travel to different conferences across the world. And as part of your work, while you not only do present your work, you're also going and spending time looking at or visiting different interesting places, right? Now, the most or the best part, which I believe as academician, is that you are your own boss, especially when it is to do with whether it is to do with research or whether it is to do with teaching. You can do research about anything that matters to you. I can just give you an example of me. I am a faculty in the operations management, one of the functional disciplines in management. But as part of my interest, I spend time with doctoral students, academicians, researchers in different areas, right? Whether it could be information systems, whether it could be strategy, whether it could be finance, whether it could be human resources. While I don't belong to any of these particular disciplines, as long as it is a problem worth investigating, as long as it's a problem worth investigating from a management point, and I am interested, nobody is going to stop me from working on that. I don't think any other job in the world can allow you that particular freedom to work on anything that matters to you. So this is one of the best things that academia can provide you. And the stepping stone for this particular thing is the PhD program, right? Whether it is the PhD program or the executive PhD program. IIM Trichy offers these two specific programs, the full-time PhD program as well as the executive PhD program. We will discuss about that in a couple of minutes, right? As this particular cartoon also indicates that you have the benefit is that you can work anytime, but the downside is also that you also are working all the time, right? Which is what is indicating the work-life balance. At IIM Trichy, our vision is to become a management institution with significant impact on business and society, and our two PhD programs are ways to do that. Our full-time PhD program encourages rigorous cross-disciplinary research in all areas of business management. Our executive PhD program, on the other hand, is created especially for the non-residential senior executives who are currently working in leading organizations, but also are interested to continue their education beyond a master's program to uh, to get into the depths of any particular topic of their interest. This is the executive PhD program is also created so that they don't compromise with their ongoing professional pursuits. Now, I'll first talk about our PhD program, then we'll go into the executive PhD program. If you have any doubts, please reserve that to the end of this particular discussion, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have, and we can discuss further. So the PhD program, we have a total of 8 disciplines for areas of specialization from the institution point of view, but we are accepting the PhD applications at least for this year for the 7 disciplines which are listed over here, which are economics and public policy, finance and accounting, information systems and analytics, marketing, operations management, organizational behavior, human resource management, strategy and entrepreneurship, right? Candidates, usually we used to allow people to apply to more than one area of specialization, but for this year, given our focus to identify people with very specific focus, for this year we are having exclusively for this year we are having candidates apply to only one area of specialization. All of this information is also available in our website. You can go through that. The idea is for our PhD students to complete the program within 4 to 5 years. If you go through the structure of the program, the structure of the program looks like this: is that for the PhD full-time PhD program, you have the first year is coursework, which is divided into 3 trimesters, term 1 to term 3. Some of these courses are also courses that you take with the MBA students. We have an MBA, 2-year MBA program that we have at IIM Trichy, and our students take courses from that. After the term 3, which usually ends around March, April, after the year that we join, and in that time for another 3 months where most of the MBA students go for internships, the PhD students, the full-time PhD students, are expected to do a summer research project with a faculty of their interest. Post that, they have another 2 terms of coursework. Now, these coursework extends along with elective courses or specialized research courses. These students are also expected to continue to refine their research work that they have done in the summer, and also work on a research paper, which is going to be an important element going to their one of the important milestones in this program, which is the comprehensive qualifying examination. Now, the comprehensive qualifying examination is a standard protocol which is followed across the world in all PhD programs, which is kind of a milestone that you have to clear before you start your independent research. So once you clear this particular thing, then there are other important milestones like your submission and defense of your research proposal, which usually happens about 6 months after you complete your comprehensive qualifying examination. And then, depending upon your progress, we expect you to complete in the 4th or 5th year of your program the final submission and defense of your dissertation. Also, apart from that, you have in between there are small milestones which are called as research progress seminars, which require you to present the progress that you have done as part of your research work. Now, this PhD program that we started this PhD program in the year 2013, while IIM Trichy came into existence in 2011. We started our full-time PhD program in 2013, and we continue to have very like very prolific candidates join our program, and some of them are have completed the program and are part of very prestigious universities, prestigious institutions. We'll discuss that in a moment. This PhD program, the eligibility is that you either have a master's degree or an integrated master degree as given over in the slide that you see. You could also have completed a CA, ICWA or CS. One of the interesting elements of a PhD program in management, especially full-time PhD program, is that you do not require uh, a master's degree. You could also have completed a 4-year or an 8-semester bachelor degree, which is having a 10 plus 2 plus 4 with a minimum of 60%. If you would have completed that, then also you are eligible. And I know of many students who have to apply to the full-time PhD program. There are some of my colleagues when I did my PhD from IIM Bangalore who had applied right during their final year of bachelor's degree, and now they are very renowned faculty across the world. So it does not necessarily require that you have a master's degree to attend this full-time PhD program. More details regarding the eligibility criteria are available at our website. You can go through that particular thing. I'm assuming that if you are attending this particular program, you are interested in this program, you would have already done that. But if there is any specific doubt that you have, you're interested for this program for later years, please feel free to ask me questions later as well. These are more details regarding what are the acceptable test scores that we take. We take scores for the PhD program, especially for the full-time PhD program, apart from your details regarding your education, your interest in this particular program, your statement of purpose. Another thing that we require is admissions test score that could be from any competitive exam like CAT, GMAT, GRE. There is also another test that is conducted by Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, which we take in lieu of other scores that you see over here. Apart from this, while the UGC allows you to apply for the PhD programs through the NET qualification, we have set a slightly restrictive standard for ourselves that we require a UGC JRF, especially from specific areas corresponding to the business disciplines which are mentioned over here. And you could also apply to the program using these scores as well. Now, the selection process happens this way that the candidates are required to fill up the application form online. We have recently extended our deadline for the application form from January 31st, which was yesterday, to February 15th. You have another 2 weeks to apply this in case you are continuing to fill that particular form. And once this candidate fills this data, each area evaluates the candidate based upon the information that is provided and benchmarks itself across different candidates who are applied, as well as based upon the criteria that they have set. They make a shortlist of the different candidates who are applied, and these shortlisted candidates are called in for interview to the IIM Trichy campus and at Tiruchirappalli, and these candidates who come over here have to attend an area level interview, and once they clear this area level interviews, some of these area level interviews might be more than one round. Now, they might also include a small written test as well. The area has complete right to that. Now, once you are shortlisted, you will be given all information regarding what would be the details regarding the area level interview process. And once that is done, based upon the candidate's performance, a final offer will be given. Post that, once you are given the admission, if you decide to join our college, then these are some of the interesting, or rather important support that is provided for the full-time PhD students, especially because they leave their particular job and they join here full-time, and most of them would be probably in their maybe late 20s, early 30s, and because they might also have a family and they would probably need some financial support. We do not have any tuition fee that is charged. There is also accommodation which is provided inside the campus, and there is no charge that is levied upon the students for the hostel room as well. Apart from this, and we do not have any fees that is applied to this full-time PhD program. Apart from this, the monthly stipend is rupees 35,000 per month. Um, Post the comprehensive examination, the stipend will increase to 37,000. The comprehensive examination is the milestone that you arrive at after about 2 years of your coursework. And once you complete that and then you go to your proposal and also successfully defend that, your overall stipend reaches rupees 40,000. Now, this we had revised last year, and um, we will also work towards regularly trying to update this particular monthly stipend. This is the financial support as of now, but we are always working towards making it more attractive for our PhD students to be as part of our program through this monthly stipend. Apart from this, you also have the financial support for buying accessories for supporting your research, which would be laptop, hardware, software. And then there is a contingency grant, which is given every year to buy books or other software and material that is required for your research work. As mentioned earlier, the PhD students are also given a conference grant of 2 lakhs for international travel and 1 lakh for domestic travel. And apart from this, there is also a field research grant of rupees 50,000, which is a lump sum amount, while contingency grant is 30,000 per annum. So this is the financial support that is being provided to the PhD program. Now, let me spend some time on the executive doctoral program. The executive doctoral program, again, we are taking admissions for 7 areas mentioned over here. And the same way, candidates can apply for 1 area of specialization, and the same way as we expect our full-time PhD students to complete it within 4 to 5 years, the same expectation is here as well. We have also tried to reduce the load on the executive doctoral students. The amount of coursework that is required for them is slightly lower as compared to the full-time PhD students. They complete this particular thing in 2 years. There are 6 terms, but in each of these 6 terms, there are only 2 courses that they have to attend. The way this particular coursework is done is that there is 1 physical visit that is done to the campus per term, and the rest of the content is delivered online. So think of it like every week the commitment from the executive PhD students from attending the classroom hours is about 6 hours of 6 hours of attention in terms of every week, that is from the classroom attendance, but also there is pre-work and post-work corresponding to each session. So you can assume that there is roughly about 2 times the amount of time that is spent during the classroom for spending the time to prepare for the classwork. Now, post the coursework, the journey remains the same. You have a comprehensive qualifying examination. Once you clear that, you have research proposal, and then your final submission, defense, and dissertation, right? The eligibility for this is minimum full-time professional work experience of 10 years. You don't have to have an admissions test to be taken for this. There is also not specifically mentioned that you do need to have a post-graduation. You can be a first class in graduation and post-graduation, and the other details are mentioned over here. one of the ways we also shortlist the candidates is their experience or exposure to management education through different qualifications, certifications, and degrees. This adds some kind of value to the candidates who are joining this. Okay. More details are there in the link that is.
Excuse me, may I ask some question for the related PhD?
Yeah, can you reserve that for a couple of minutes? I'll just
Yeah, please. Yeah, sorry.
Oh. The selection process is exactly similar to how we have it for full-time PhD students. The candidates fill up the application form, then the shortlist is provided, and the shortlisted candidates have to travel to IIM Trichy at the Tiruchirappalli campus. We also have a Chennai campus, but this particular interviews happen in Tiruchirappalli. And those who clear the area round are then interviewed for by the doctoral program committee if required for a final decision of the candidature. Usually this is not required, but in case it is required, this particular event might also happen. Mostly it will be the decision of the area to this. These are some of the testimonials of our program. Some of it we have also recorded as videos. Our social media channels regularly post regarding this particular thing. Some of our faculty are some of our alums. This is for the executive PhD students. They have talked about our program, and most of them are very happy with their progress, and they've been part of this. Just to kind of conclude why to be part of the PhD program at IIM Trichy, we have a very strong academic focus. You can compare our coursework and program structure with others, and we believe that we have a very rigorous and balanced coursework, which kind of creates that curiosity or interest in the individuals. We have a wonderful research infrastructure. Our library research resource center is one of the best in the country. We have very beautiful infrastructure as well as the physical infrastructure as well as digital infrastructure in terms of the resources. We have very generous research support for our full-time PhD students because we also have events where our full-time PhD students and executive PhD students uh, meet, and there is a lot of cross-learning that can happen. And whenever you come to the campus, I wish some of you were here physically during this particular event. You would have also realized how peaceful, beautiful, and state-of-the-art our campus is. Now, one of the benefits of joining IIM Trichy is that as a young institute, you also can be a brand builder. Now, while we have had our PhD program for about 10 years, full-time PhD program, executive PhD program is just 5 years old. Some of our executive PhD students who are going to graduate in probably another year would be one of the first, and they would be considered as the brand builders for this particular program as well as the institute. And that is really something to work for, right? So just to give you some more details, where our faculty have recently published their research. There is more than this particular thing, but given the real estate space that I've had in the PPT, have indicated some of the most recent research that our faculty have done. Apart from this, our students, doctoral students, especially full-time PhD students, regularly publish along with our faculty in reputed journals. They presented their work in top conferences across the world. This is both our current as well as students who have graduated, and they have won several awards for their cutting-edge research. Our alumni are part of some of the best institutes. Some of them ranked much higher than IIM Trichy as well. Take example of IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta, IIM Shillong, XLRI and others. They are some of the older and prestigious institutions where our alumni are working. That speaks a lot about our doctoral students, as well as we believe in the process, and we believe that our process at IIM Trichy, especially our doctoral program, has contributed to their success as well, right? So I welcome all of you to be part of this particular program, and even if you are interested in general in the PhD program or the executive PhD program, I'm happy to take any questions that you might have, and we'll go from there. If you have any question, I would request you to raise your hand, and post that I will take questions from each of you. So if you have any questions, I would request you to please raise your hands, and then maybe based on that, I will take the questions. Yes, Mr. Shashi.
Hey, good evening. Thank you so much for a very knowledgeable session. So, two questions I have. This is more on the executive program. So,
Okay.
the degree given at the end of the executive PhD is same, right? It's just going to say Doctor of Philosophy or
Yeah.
executive.
It is the same, whether it is a full-time PhD program or the executive PhD program. As of now, we don't differentiate between both the programs. You
Okay.
will still be getting a PhD degree at the end of that.
Okay. Just an add-on question on that. Means the weekly, 1 week program at the end of each term or during each term, right? Is it going to be Monday to Friday kind of thing or Wednesday to Sundays?
So it's going to be 7 days, not 5 days.
Oh,
so
okay.
expect you to be here from Monday to Sunday kind of thing.
Okay.
So most cases you would probably require less than that particular time. You would probably complete your sessions within 4 to 5 days, and we always work towards giving you advance information as soon as possible so that you are ready, and so that makes you can plan, because most of you who are working will have tight schedules, and would also always help to have advance information so that you can plan, and based on that you can come over here in case the classes are scheduled for only 5 days, then you can plan accordingly. But the expectation is that you earmark 7 days per term for this particular program.
Perfect. And final question on this timelines, right? So the interviews which are going to happen for selection, any tentative month or weeks?
So so tentatively April 2nd week is when we are going to have our interviews.
Okay.
So once the deadline is over, once we shortlist this particular thing, we expect you be notified by maybe March 15th or so, and then you will have about 3 weeks time to plan accordingly and be part of this particular selection process over here at IIM Trichy, and based on that, after that, you can take another couple of weeks for the results to arrive.
Thank you.
Mr. Riaz, I had a question. You have a question?
Yeah, I have already put that on a chat. So one is in the application process, we are asked to submit the research proposal and SOP. Being first time, so we don't have real clarity on what are things to be elaborated. So will
Okay.
that can you put some thought on that? Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Riaz, so the idea was that I think we had posted one video regarding this on our LinkedIn page regarding what a proposal is, what an SOP is. I think you can go through, it is one of our doctoral students who had spoken about that. If you have, you can go through that, that will be really helpful. If you still have doubts, you can definitely reach out to either our office or the personal email ID that I have. And if you can just open the PPT, the last slide. And
Even I was planning to take this operation management decision science. So
share, Zoom share. Yes, Mr. Riaz, just 1 second.
yeah, that's okay.
You can see on the screen my email ID. You can feel free to reach out to me. This is my personal email ID. You can reach out to me and I can help you further on how this thing has to be done. I can see that you have posted a couple of other questions. One of the questions is regarding if you could visit the campus. Yes, we are very happy. You can come down to the campus and you can go around. You can probably meet some of us as well. I think you had also reached out to us earlier regarding this, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have reached out. We were waiting for some approval, something like that, so that
we thought that you would be attending today personally over here because the invitation was for all of you to attend physically as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, if you have another time that you would want
Yes,
to
sir.
come,
We will plan this week, sir.
so
Yeah.
you can email us, and based upon the availability of the faculty and the office, we can,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so I will write to this number.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
thank you. Third was already been answered. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Hi,
Sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Who is speaking? I'm sorry, I'm not able to see who is speaking.
Sir, Girish this side. Girish this side.
Yeah, please.
Girish this side. Sir, I would like to do the PhD, executive PhD as a working professional in the sustainability finance. Do you have the for the sustainability finance? I have the banking career of 18 years, and from last 8 to 10 years in the green finance. So this is my love, the sector that where I want to work for the sustainability finance or the sustainability.
Okay.
This one is comes in the finance or public policy.
So there are some people who are currently part of our executive PhD program in finance who are working in a similar area. If you can think ESG as a broader term, I think there are some people who are working in ESG in finance, especially sustainable investment, sustainable finance. So
Okay.
if you are interested in bank, if you come from a banking background and if you are looking at that specific topic, I think definitely we have some faculty who are doing active research in that area as well. We'll be happy to have you join our program and you can work in that area as well. So there are people who work in public policy as well. Again, as I mentioned at the start, you can always do cross-disciplinary research. You can also interact with the faculty who are in public policy and you can do your research.
I would like to do the study with the combination of the sustainability finance and the public policy. Because I'm with the MBA finance and doing some ESG investing from the CFA, and did some short courses from the World Bank and United Nations. Those are in the ECC e-learning program.
Definitely. You can do that part. Yes.
And one more question, sir. Sorry, again one more question. For the executive program, we have to submit a 10 years work experience. It's right now or after that?
So the work experience, I think during while you fill the form, the way it is calculated is that I think from the date of your joining of your first job till now, how many years of experience you have?
No, I was asking that we have to provide right now we have to submit the proof, or either we have to write down about the experience, because we collecting the all proofs at once go right now, it will take some time. That's why I was asking.
So the thing is that if you have just the joining date, you must have the offer letter or something like that. If you can just provide that particular thing, that itself is an evidence that you would have joined. From there, we assume that you would have worked for these many years.
For the basically for the in the 18 years, begin 5 to 7 years are just missing due to the COVID time. So few things are missing.
Yeah, you provide as much detail as possible. We will, if there is any specific requirement, we will reach out to you later as well. Okay.
Okay, and we have the criteria for the graduation or either the post graduation with the 60%. Any another thing required?
No, nothing else. Most of the things that are required are already present there. And while you fill your form, all these details will be specifically mentioned. If there is any point where you do not qualify, the form itself will tell you that you're not eligible for that. But I'm assuming that you will fulfill all the requirements anyway.
Yeah, thank you, sir. In case I need any query, I definitely catch you with the mail ID. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, myself, Rakesh, sir.
Yes, Mr. Rakesh.
Yeah, sir, this is regarding same application process. Actually, when I was trying to apply in that interface, the application interface, under work experience, it is asking for an option date of leaving, which is mandatory, sir.
Okay.
But I am still working. I am unable to find some other option in that area.
Right. So in that particular case, what you can do again, that's a problem. It's a good point that you have raised. We also were deliberating about how to put that particular thing. So for this particular thing, whenever somebody takes that last date. Let's say, for example, if you are still working and you are filling your form today, so pick the latest date, that is today's date, assuming that. So when you pick that particular thing, automatically we will know that you are still continuing, right? So that is the way we resolve that particular.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Rajesh.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ashish.
Hi, sir. Thank you for taking out time today on a weekend. A couple of quick questions. See, my background is almost 26 years in IT, all of it into data warehouses, data management, and last 8 to 10 years into decision sciences areas. So I was kind of thinking, since there are two different specializations, one is in IS and another one ops management with decision science. So
Right.
I'm kind of not sure which one is focused on which area to kind of find out, since there is only one I have to select.
Okay.
I just wanted to understand what each of these departments do so I can apply at the right place.
All right. Interesting question, Mr. Ashish. So, just to give you an idea, in fact, both the operations management, decision science, as well as information systems and analytics area, we both work together on various things, whether it is teaching, research, and other aspects. So there is a lot of overlap between these two things, especially in the analytics aspect. Now, from a decision sciences point of view, just one difference which might help you in deciding where to apply is information systems and analytics is largely an application oriented area, you can say. Largely you are looking at the application of IT and information systems in different business applications in policy making and also from an analytics point of view. But in decision sciences, the focus, while there also we look at application oriented, but there the focus can also be on the underlying algorithms or underlying math related to that, optimization or some statistical inferences related to that. So in OM and DS, the focus can be a little more on the process and the content related to decision making. The information systems and analytics could be more from an application point of view. Just one of the differences does not necessarily mean that you don't do that kind of research in information systems and analytics, but majority of the research that happens here would be from this particular point.
Understood. And so my thought was not into creating or tweaking any algorithms the way just to take an example, a lot of neural nets work is happening on GenAI and not that area, not purely technical. My idea was to use existing algorithms to come up with certain business solutions. A lot of algorithms are available. I think we are not doing enough to apply them.
You're right. So you're perfectly right. And see, even from an OMDS perspective, we also apply these particular things, not necessarily that we always try to tweak the algorithms or improve them. The point is that operations also, as I mentioned, look at the process point of view.
Okay.
You're largely looking at from an application, from a discipline which is related to information systems and the different tenets of it. That might be the right one. But again, if you want to further discuss, either you reach out to some faculty from the information systems area or from the OMDS area. Details of the faculty are available online. Because I belong to OMDS, you can also reach out to me, and if you want further details, we can discuss further. Given that there are many other people who are in line
Right.
who want to ask questions, maybe we can restrict the discussion till this particular point.
Sure, sir. That sounds good. So, sir, one last question. Obviously, I'm looking for part-time. So, you mentioned the coursework is for 2 years. I noticed that some other institutes have coursework for 1 year. So, is there any difference in coursework? Meaning, is it more exhaustive or just trying to figure out the differences?
Yeah, so the coursework again depends upon a institution to institution. Some of them even have a coursework for 6 months. So as you mentioned, some of them have for 1 year, 2 years. The expectation is that we believe the grounding for the research has to be much more stronger at the start, and that reduces your time to do research. There might be institutions which believe the other way around, that you have shorter research coursework time and then spend more time figuring out what you want to do later. But I think that the sum total most cases will end up being the same. Whether you do 2 years of coursework, or very clear on what you want to do, what skills you have, and then jump directly into the problem, or you understand the basics of it and then figure out in detail later once you go into your thesis work. So
Great.
in total, you can think of it like whether you want to do it as 2 + 4 or 1 + 5. All ends up being the same.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time.
Hello, sir.
Uh,
I'm Hemant. Am I
Hello.
audible?
Yeah. Who is this? Sorry.
Hemant, Hemant.
You can
This is Hemant, Hemant.
probably
Am I
that
audible?
Who is this? Sorry, who is speaking?
Hemant, Hemant.
Okay, Mr. Hemant. Yeah, please go ahead.
Just wanted to know regarding these courses. Is it like that we have to do the complete the course with PGP students, and what is the qualifying examination is? And also, I want to know how many seats are there, like in
Okay.
finance and accounting area, OB
Are
and
you
HR.
talking about the full-time program?
Yes, full time.
So, Mr. Hemant, generally we take about 2 to 3 students per area. That is the general number of people that we take for each area. That is the number that we have. And some of these courses, yes, you have to do with the PGP or the MBA students. That is that's limited to about 5 courses across the 2 years of coursework that we have. Apart from that, there are several full-time PhD program courses also that we have to do.
And what is this comprehensive exam? What about? Is it like
Comprehensive
the theory
exam is
paper we have?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything that you have studied in 2 years, especially from the area of your research. So if you are from information systems, then you would be tested based upon all the courses, all the learning that you have in the last 2 years. And based on that, the exam will be conducted to you. It will be a series of exams. It could be take home, it could be in class and things like that.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Chinu, sir. I'm actually non-resident Indian. Are there any special additional requirements?
Dr. Chinu, can you repeat your question? I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
So I'm actually a non-resident Indian, so I'm staying in overseas. Are there
Oh.
any special additional requirements?
You are a non-residential Indian, right? So as long as you will be able to travel to India during coursework, there are people who are from abroad who are part of our course, like our program. There are 2 students who are in the Middle East. They manage their work in such a way that they are here every time during our coursework. So as long as you are able to do that, I think that should be all right. But you
Thank you, sir.
More details regarding that to me, Dr. Chinu, we can discuss further.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Satyendra Kumar. I have just query regarding the executive PhD. The proposals which we have to make for in the admission. Of course, I don't have much experience making that, and you also said we can go through the video in the LinkedIn. But how important or how to identify select the topic which suits and work, so that you can give some light on that.
Right. So I'm assuming, Mr. Satyendra, that you had already identified the topic, or rather the area of your interest in terms of whether you want to work in operations or information systems or HR or strategy. Now, once you have identified that, it might be, especially if you're an executive PhD student, you might in your long career, you would have experienced some different challenges, and that challenges might have intrigued you, and that could have led you to think of a PhD, to do a PhD. So bring those perspectives, try to think of what is the kind of solution that is required. So the idea is that the PhD program and the research training that you get over here not only allow you to do work which can be useful for academia, but also Industry also requires a lot of in-depth thinking, and we believe that the solution some of the industry is grappling with right now, the solutions can be thought of from the way the process that is used for solving any research problem, right? So think of it that way and build your research proposal around that. If you get a chance, there are a lot of freely available research resources which you can access through Google Scholar. Try to go and look at some of the research work which is done around that topic. You can just use simple keyword search and you should be able to get some of the freely available resources. If you can build based on that, nothing like it. So the expectation is that you do some groundwork on the topic of your interest. That's the only thing that we are expecting. We are not expecting you to come up with a research proposal of the standard of how, let's say, a full-time PhD student, or rather as a researcher or a faculty does that particular thing. The expectation is that you show that you are interested and hence you have done your homework.
Okay. Thank
Sir,
you. Thank you.
Sir Girish decide. Similar question. I have decided my topic. That one is sustainability finance instrument, a necessity to achieve sustainability goal in an emerging market and for sustainable economy. In case in between the 1 or 2 year, I think that due to some market changes or some more requirement, if I feel that I have to do some changes in my key topic according to
always change.
Because right now and after 2 years, maybe in some scenario, maybe SDG can change, or either after some COP30, or either some changes in the Paris Agreement. Can we do the changes accordingly? Can we do the changes accordingly? Lots of thanks. Thanks, sir.
Mr. Arun Kumar, sorry, I think you have been waiting for a long time. Please go ahead with your question.
Namaskaram, sir. I'm Arun Kumar from Madurai.
Yes, sir.
My first question is, I am aged 41. I have 2 kids. I plan to join in full-time PhD. Is there any accommodation facilities available inside the campus, sir?
We don't have a married accommodation yet. We have an accommodation which is a single accommodation. There will be a room, and that room might not be able to accommodate your family. I don't think we have that particular thing yet. Some of our students who are part of our program are also married. They have their kids. Most of them stay in and around the campus. As also we don't have HRA right now. We are contemplating on that particular topic, but I don't want to make any promises that I can't fulfill. So, but thing is that as of now, the infrastructure that we have only supports single accommodation, which is either a room as part of kind of a, you can think of a flat, or it could be a hostel room which could be given to you. There is no payment for that particular. If you avail that particular thing that you want to stay inside the campus alone, there is no payment that is required from your end.
Sir, another question regarding if I stay a nearby place, is it mandated to stay inside the campus?
No. There is no requirement for you to stay inside the campus. You can stay outside as well, as long as you are able to attend all the classes. In fact, some of our students stay outside the campus and they regularly visit and make sure that they take care of all the requirements that are there. So that's not a problem at all.
Sir, sorry for disturbance. I am asking another one question. I have 16 years of experience and I am going to complete my PhD through part-time by March or April. That is, I am going to submit my thesis. Is there any constraints? The course will start by?
The course starts by July, June end. Rather, June end is when you will have your induction, and classes will start from July.
So there is no issue regarding this?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You are saying that you
Yes, I'm going to submit my thesis by March or April only. While I'm applying for this course, is there any constraint?
This is what? This is a master's program, is it? Part-time PhD. You are applying, you are doing a part-time PhD. Is that
Yes,
what?
a part-time PhD in SRM University.
Yeah, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That has nothing to do with this. As long as you fulfill the requirements of what is required for this program, that should be perfectly all right.
Sir, I just want to I want to know another thing. And tomorrow I am going to appear for IIMB test. This is
Okay.
conducted by Bangalore. They don't provide score. How do we know the
The score we will get directly. Don't worry about it.
what is the percentile required to be?
The general percentile across areas is different. Different areas have different requirements.
I already applied for finance and accounts.
Yeah. So you can think anywhere starting from 80 percentile onwards is something that is a good score, but the higher the better, right? So
Yes,
always.
definitely. Sir, I just want to share or openly I'm asking one question. I have not a good experience while I'm doing my part-time PhD because before comprehensive waiver, I just collected all the details regarding pure finance. But I am forced to do research in behavioral finance. Directly, I'm asking, is there any freedom regarding research work in IM Trichy?
So completely your wish. Nobody is going to ask you to do research on anything that you don't want. It is completely your volition through which you want to do your research. There is no you have to choose your research guide. You have to choose your research committee. There is no imposition from the area or the institution on what you want to do.
It's happy to hear this, sir. As well as because I'm 41, I have two children. 35,000 is enough, and I have some other income. And directly asking question: is there any opportunity to raise income from that means as a research scholar? That means question paper setting or invigilation or
We don't have any such avenue right now. Maybe there, as I said, we are hoping that some of these particular stipend values might go upwards, north, go towards north in the near future. That is our expectation. If that is the case, I don't think you will have to. Frankly speaking, I believe that you will not have time for any of the other things as when you are part of your coursework or during your research. So we
yes,
believe
definitely.
focus on research during that time.
Sir, IMB exam is also needed for the executive PhD also.
It is not required for executive candidates.
Okay, one more question. When I said I was saying that I would like to do for the sustainability finance PhD, we have to just submit the topic or some 2-3 page details also about that.
Details are also required.
Okay, and in future, if we need the some changes, we can do.
You can always change that. This is just for
Yeah.
to understand your interest right now.
Okay, lots of thanks.
Mr. Aniruddha, sorry for
Yeah.
keeping.
So I just introduce myself. My name is Anirudh Keskar. I'm 55 years old, having 33 years of experience. Presently working as executive director on the board of IB Industries Limited. I am interested in doing the executive PhD, and I've submitted all my forms
Right.
to the best of my knowledge, fully complete. And I've submitted my research interest topic along with the desired detailing. What I want to know is this particular topic, whether it fits into the overall scheme of whatever the topics offered by IIM, that is first. And if yes, may I know who would be the best guides wherein I can actually have some kind of a pre-discussion and get some my doubts sorted out?
So, Mr. Aniruddha, which area did you apply for?
I applied mainly for the public policies, especially I assist a lot to the government of India in framing of various policy frameworks for enhancing the exports and the industrialization, mainly a Make in India sort of a policy.
Right.
And the lot of like how to reduce the imports and how to increase the exports. So and in my present profiling also, like I interact a lot with various government secretaries and all. But what I thought of, like, rather than just using only experience, add a qualification as well as the structured knowledge in doing this particular activity, which may help me even on a long term basis to give guidance either to upcoming policymakers as well as to the government in various areas as they deem fit maybe.
Right. Yeah. Great, Mr. Anuruddha. Great to hear about your profile. As we currently have 4 faculty in the economics and public policy area. Couple of them do work in the area of macroeconomics policy making. Some of them work in the area of microeconomics. So most details regarding their interests are already available on the website. And their email ID is also available. I would recommend you go through their profiles, and based on the combination of your interests and the matching of your interest with their expertise, you would want to write to them, and most faculty would be happy to engage with you. If there is any conflict of interest in terms of discussing with you more details regarding your application, they would prior inform you. But they would be happy to have a chat with you and try to understand more. So you can always reach out to them. I cannot name one specific person upfront, but I believe that most of the faculty who are there as part of our program will be able to help you with that.
Okay. And the second thing is my apologies. Actually, I was on a flight with my scheduled agenda. So I missed initial briefing of yours on
Sure.
the subjects, whatever you covered. Is it possible to have some kind of a recording or a presentation
So
emailed to us?
I'm assuming that this is already recorded. If it is recorded, we will put this particular thing along with the Q&A on our website and also on our YouTube channel. You will be you can go through that whenever you want.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Tushar?
Hello, good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So my question is regarding the IIMB test. The test
Yes.
was conducted in 2 attempts. It happened previously in November as well. So
Yeah.
can we submit scores from like both the attempts?
Right.
Or-
You can submit both the scores. We'll take the best of them. That should be perfect.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So Israr?
Sir, my audio is audible.
Yes, you are audible. Yeah, please.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity to. May I know your name, sir?
I am Sirish. I'm faculty here in this operations management area over here. I'm also the chairperson of the doctoral program and research.
Okay, sir. I have a list of 3 questions I need to ask if you allow me.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. You mentioned before that student can finish their PhD within 4 to 5 years. It is possible to complete my PhD 3 to 3.5 years before. Technically, if they completed all kind of works, it is possible to complete before.
Perfectly fine. The sooner you are out, the better we feel, because you will start earning money, right? More than what we pay as your stipend. So don't worry about that. So if you are able to complete that, I think the fastest that we know of somebody who has completed a PhD from IIM Trichy is 4 years. So that's the reason why we say that. But we believe that if as long as the work is of good standard and it has completed all the requirements, you are free to complete it earlier as well.
So it is possible, right?
It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
My second question is, as a full-time PhD student, is there any fees I need to pay myself, such as coursework, conference, or food?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
As a full-time PhD student, are there any fees I need to pay myself
No,
to the coursework, conference?
Only food expenses. If you are staying on campus, there are food expenses that you might have. Apart from that, there is nothing else that you have to pay out of your pocket. There is only a what should I say, deposit, the caution deposit that you have to pay at the start, which is refundable at the end of your program.
Okay, sir. My third question is, it is allowed to work parallelly to the full-time PhD program?
No,
if not, okay. If not, does IIM permit to working as a freelancer to improve my skills while pursuing my PhD degree?
Any freelancing work, I mean, as long as it is not conflicting with any of the requirements that we have over here, it's up to you how you manage your time. But legally, you're not allowed to work and then also have PhD, what should I say, stipend that is for you. So any freelance work you are able to manage on your own, which is not under the purview of IM3, that's perfectly all right.
So it is possible to
Yeah.
working
So
as a freelancer in my own time.
it cannot be a legal contract between you and somebody else. So as long as you're freelancing on an informal basis, that is perfectly fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jatin Kumar.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, my doubt is related to the interviews.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask whether the shortlisted candidates are going to be reimbursed for their traveling expenses to come to the campus for the interview or not.
So, so for the full-time PhD program, yes, we do have reimbursement up to a particular amount. I don't have the number exactly on the top of my head, but second AC up to, I think, up to second AC, and that too with a limit, maximum limit up to, I think, 2,000 rupees or something like that. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I think there is some reimbursement for the travel. There might be a very nominal fee if required for you. When you come over here, you might have to stay a couple of days. Very nominal fee will be there for staying in the hostel or some accommodation that is given. But again, that is subject to availability. We will let you know about that. But there is some reimbursement for the full-time PhD. Yes.
Okay, actually, I am residing in Delhi, so it takes a very long time for it would take a very long time for me to travel from Delhi to Trichy. That's why, and I would request you to please tell us or inform us about the shortlisting beforehand so that it becomes easier for us to travel.
Definitely, we'll inform you. As I said, the idea is to give you at least 1 month time, but if not, the worst case scenario is we'll give you 3 weeks so that you can plan accordingly.
Okay. And sir, my last question is, sir, I right now I am a master's student and I am in my final semester of my master's, and there has been no gap in my education. I just shifted from school to UG and then PG, so I do not really have a formal job experience. So
Right.
does that make me stand at a disadvantageous position in comparison to the other candidates? I am talking about the full-time PhD right now.
Not at all, Mr. Jatin. No disadvantage there. As I've mentioned in my presentation as well, I know of people who have just done their bachelor's degree and started their PhD program right after that, and they have done wonderfully well, done very well in their interview. So as long as the application that you have submitted, the scores that you have, and your profile looks very appealing to the committee which is looking at your application, as well as that you showcase your interest to do research. I think those are the only things that matter. Your work experience does not necessarily uh, require you or provide you any advantage over not having a work experience provide you any disadvantage as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Venkatesh?
Hi, sir. Very good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks much for your time and the briefing. So I got more clarity about this program. I have three questions regarding the executive PhD. Number one is pretty much related to the previous point that you shared. Yeah, I got to know that you invite the applications from who have done masters as well as bachelors. Since I've done only bachelors, does the persons who have done the masters have the edge over me because the seats are
No.
limited to 2 or 3? You said.
No, nothing related to that. As mentioned, as long as your work experience is directly related to what you want to work on, and in the area that you have applied, right? And you, even if it is not, if you are demonstrating interest and ability to do research in that particular area, that is going to actually add a lot more value than the formal degrees. We do look at the formal degrees because they signal your interest and your intent, but even the lack of that is not going to hamper your chances. So don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir. So in that case, the initial application screening will be done mostly on the proposal document that we are going to submit.
Yeah, all of that, each of them have different weights, but I think your proposal definitely will add a lot of value.
Thank you, sir. My second question is,
yeah, please go ahead. Mr. Venkatesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I'm from Chennai. So is there a way to utilize the Chennai campus by either attending the classes from there or utilizing the library if they have?
You can go and you can go to the campus whenever you are free. The library is open. So whenever it is open, the campus is open, please feel free to go there. Once you become part of our program, you will have full access to that particular thing. So whenever you're free, you can always access that resource.
Thank you, sir. My last question is, you said we have to spend about 6 hours for the course during a week and into two, that is around 12 hours during the week for our self-study, right? Does that 6 hours of formal training or education will happen during the office hours or in the evenings?
So usually we have these sessions in the evening. So if it is on the weekdays, it is from 6 to 9:30 kind of thing. And weekends, you might have it during the day as well, assuming that people are not working. But some cases we also work with the students to figure out a particular time, because most cases it will be 1 or 2 students, especially the area level courses. In that particular time, we try to make sure that most of them are available and they are not occupied with their other obligations as well. So we'll try to make sure that some of these particular requests are accommodated.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your answers. Thank you.
Ms. Dhanashree.
Yes, hi, sir. Yeah, this is regarding you mentioned that UGC net specifically JRF is required. I
Right.
actually had this doubt before and I called admission cell to ask whether I can apply with UGC scores itself. I have a PhD.
Okay.
And I've submitted the application mentioning that even though I have 90 percentile, due to the quotas and I have applied in general category, so I could only get PhD for that score. And I've written December exams also. I know my tentative score, but I'm still not sure whether I would get a JRF for sure. But I've also written IMB test in November, and tomorrow also I will be attending. So is there a
So that could be perfectly fine, right? So you have all these scores. I think if you have already provided all this information, that most probably will be taken very favorably because you're also taking the IMB test. So that should compensate in case you, even if you are not getting a JRF. I'm hoping that those things will be those things will be considered favorably by the area that is looking at your application.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I just want to know if I should resubmit the application or
No,
if I
don't
can
worry
just.
about that. No. Once if you get your results later, right, for JRF, please update. You can send an email to us regarding that immediately once you receive that. Based on that, we will, in case there is any particular more problem with your application, then we will reconsider that particular.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I am Arun Kumar, sir. My last question.
Yeah.
Regarding full-time research, how many working days and how many working hours, sir?
There is nothing like working hours, and I mean we have classes throughout. Sometimes the classes can happen on a Sunday as well. Technically, we say that there are only 3 days on which the institute does not have any classes, which is on the Republic Day, the Independence Day, and Mahatma Gandhi's Jayanti. And these are the only 3 days when we don't operate or have classes. We have classes throughout. So I don't know if that answers your question, Sharon.
Thank you very much, sir. Very happy to hear all the answers, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I am preparing for IMB test. Can I leave, sir?
Sure, sir. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mihir?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I am a 2022 graduate from in BTech. I want to ask that if we don't want to continue in academics after PhD, can we means I am provide placement for corporates?
Uh, we haven't got any requests per se regarding this, but if you are interested for that, I think we can forward your application to the corporate to our placement wing, and if there are one or two candidates who are interested like you, I don't think our placement wing will have any problem, because sometimes our placement wing also gets requests regarding the availability of PhD students for posts, certain specific jobs. I think we can always address that particular thing, but there is no formal process per se with our PhD program for helping our PhD students get jobs in corporate. But if somebody is interested in that, we can informally work with our placement wing to help that candidate. So that should not be a problem at all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So Tushar, you had another question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, can you please throw some light on the area tests which are conducted post shortlisting, and especially people who are freshers, how do they prepare for the area test?
So, Mr. Tushar, which area are you applying for?
I will be applying for strategy.
Strategy area. Okay. Generally, you would not have any written.
Yeah, one written test on this case.
Okay.
Case analysis.
So there would be some written test on a case analysis. So the idea is that you have some management thinking in your head, and if you have gone through, like if you are already interested and if you have followed or read some articles, books, or watch some videos or try to follow certain things, you should be able to analyze a particular, what should I say, a case study, or if there is an article for which you have to write a critique. The idea that the written test generally looks for is not from the point of view of whether you know things, it's how you approach that particular problem. So some of these things you can always reach out to our current students who are part of the program. Their details are available on LinkedIn. You can just search for IM3 doctoral scholars. You can reach out to them, and some of them can help you with more details regarding it.
So is there any segment on research methodologies or quant or reasoning like that, or is it like only a case study?
No. We don't have a written test on that. The CAT or any of those things will automatically take care of that. We don't ask them. Those kind of tests will not be there later.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Is somebody who is having their mobile name Xiaomi23076. I don't know who that is. Can you please unmute yourself, and you see that your hand is raised?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you please tell us your name?
Sorry, sir. It's me. My name is Bipul Kumar Sinha.
Great. Okay, Mr. Bipul, please.
Sir, my question is with respect to IMB test score, if there is any cutoff there, or for preliminary shortlisting of the application for the process of interview?
Okay, Mr. Bipul, as I said, I was just referring to the same in one of the previous responses as well. Generally, the cutoff changes from area to area. What I know is it is ideal if you get 80 percentile or above. Any higher the percentile, better. Obviously, if you are able to get 90 percentile and more, the chances of you getting shortlisted are going to be very high. So the idea is that you at least have 80 percentile. I think below 80 percentile we generally don't consider, but anything above 80 percentile definitely.
Sir, I am a BTech graduate from NIT Durgapur, 2014 batch, and working in railways for past 7 years, and currently not that much in touch with quant and other subjects. So I have 7 years of work experience working in railways as senior train manager and controller. If the percentile is a little less, so that is why I was asking the question, sir.
I am not really sure, Mr. Bipul. I don't know. I think we generally also look for a minimum level of percentile, because that's an indication or a signal of your reasoning ability. I am assuming that you would spend some time preparing for that exam, so that also showcases your interest in that. So, but I believe that you will be able to do well in your exam. So, I think tomorrow you have the test. So, all the best in case you already taken the previous version. Then,
May I ask a second question, sir?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Sir, the application form wants research proposal to be written there. Sir,
Right.
I do have some research idea, but when I went through research proposal of the how people write, I'm nowhere matching with their research proposal, their format references and all. So
Don't worry about that, right? So you provide your, see, it's always good to try to do it in the most, what should I say, structured format, but we also understand that some of you don't have formal research training, right? So the idea is that we see the intent, not the actual thought process or the way you do that. That is anyways why you are coming over here for learning how to do research, and the coursework also will help you with that. So don't worry about that specifically. The idea is that you show your intent in terms of your interest in that area. If you are able to passionately write that particular thing, I think that will help.
right, sir. And last question, sir. Any area test in marketing field?
Marketing area, I think might have a small test. Again, they will probably ask you to critique a research article. You have to go through the small research article or a small management article, and you have to criticize that particular thing in terms of what you thought was good, what you thought was not good, how can you link it up with business and those kind of things.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Israr, do you have another question?
Yes, sir, I have.
Sure.
So, most of the graduates are working as an after completing their PhD, they're working as academic professor. So, are there any PhD students who are choosing to pursue careers as a researcher in companies like Microsoft R&D, Oracle R&D, rather than to become an academic professor?
Yeah, so we do have people who are part of other organizations, not specifically R&D divisions that you have mentioned. So a couple of them who came from organizations like SBI, L&T, and others, they have gone back and they have continued to work at a reasonably higher level positions in those organizations. But I know of people from other universities, other IIMs, who have done something like what you are asking. So there are people who go back to R&D divisions, especially after their PhD. So these kind of things are very common.
Because why I'm asking, because I'm as a computer science engineering student. After I would like to take the PhD in information system and analytics in specialization. So if there is any career advancement completing PhD in companies like a topmost administration position.
Yeah. So those kind of things, that's what I'm saying, right? So many people do get those kind of jobs, R&D positions. So that's I think that's advisable. Many organizations look for PhD students, especially if you are saying information systems analytics. If your training and if your ability you can showcase, you'll be more than happy to take it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Giribas?
Hello, sir. Good evening. So one thing I wanted to check, sir, when we had submitted the application form, there were references that we had given.
Right.
I did not see any email where I've been copied when writing to those references.
Okay.
How do I know that if they have responded, or is there a cross check that you will end up doing with us?
So in your application, it should probably show you whether they have received, they have completed that particular thing. If not, please write to the office. We will let you know. We know whether they have received that, whether they have responded to that email or not.
Yeah, because one of my reference reached out that they received the application and they have submitted it back. So that was the reason. Yeah.
So you can send me that. You can send us an email at dproffice@iamtrichy.ac.in. Please send an email and we'll let you know the other person has received or submitted or not.
Fantastic. I'll do that.
Sorry to interrupt. This is Satyendra in line with same question. They have to submit also these references within 15th February or
Yes, they have to submit within 15th February. So in case you have given a particular reference, please ask them to make sure that they submit it. So you can follow up with them and then make sure that you do that. We will also try to send reminders from our end as well, as much as possible. Mr. Mrityunjay?
Yeah, good evening, sir. This side Mrityunjay. I'm a faculty in a business school. I'm from the Pune, and I'm looking for the executive PhD. And you were talking about the selection of guide. Is there any procedure to selection of guide and all?
So there is no specific procedure. The idea is that we give complete freedom to the student to figure out that based upon their interest. Generally, the process that we recommend to the students rather than not like a rule, but recommend is that we ask them to go and speak to as many faculty in their area and try to understand their interests, their areas of research, their expertise, and the things that match with your areas of research and their expertise is the way generally students go about identifying their research guide. And anyways, this has to be done post after 2 years of your coursework. So the idea is that in the 2 years of coursework, you get exposed to different faculty and their teaching styles, their research work, and based on that, you also have specific topics or specific courses where you have to work on a research project with them. So during that time, most students identify a faculty that they want to work with. So once they have identified, they continue to work with them only. So it is mostly self-selection. There is no specific imposition from I am Trichy on who to work with.
And so my second question is, during the coursework, we have to do certain research or not? Because I am a faculty, so I involve in research and also, so we will do with the faculty member from the Trichy and all. Is there any opportunity?
Yes, it is expected that you do research. There are, as part of your coursework, there is expectation of doing term papers. There is also a specific course called research-based independent study, where you will have to independently work with the faculty, and the idea is that you create a mini research article. There is also summer work that you have to do with a research guide, or rather work with a faculty who need not necessarily be your final research guide, but work with the faculty independently to submit a mini research work there as well. So there are plenty of opportunities in the past. Both our full-time doctoral students as well as executive doctoral students have worked with our faculty and have published research work in top journals even during their coursework.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Venkatesh.
Hi, sir. Thanks for letting me to put in a couple of queries again. So my question this time is, I've applied for the same executive PhD a couple of years back in strategy management. I've chosen a point there, a point or a question. Can I reuse that again for this year? I have to go for a completely a new topic.
No, as long as you think that you've done a good job over there, I don't think you have to redo the entire thing, but it will always help that you at least build or modify what you have done. Because if the similar faculty are going to evaluate that, they might have some idea of what you have done earlier. So some bit of modification would definitely help in that particular case.
Sure, sir. Yeah, I understood that rather than taking it as I'm unlucky, I understood that I need to put in more effort.
Right.
So I'll definitely try to curate it further, because my career is I've been into management for the last 16 years out of total 23 years of experience, and I'm helping multiple clients to implement the strategy and also help them to implement the transformation programs.
Definitely.
I was in a dilemma to choose between information systems or the strategy. So that time I chosen strategy. Right, I was thinking to make a research on how this artificial intelligence and the machine learning going to impact in implementing a strategy in any organization, right? Not about a project.
Yeah, so please work on that. Whatever you have submitted, you try to rework on that and make it more solid. I think that will definitely, it's a very interesting area of research, and everybody will be interested to work on that. So please rework on that and ensure that it will definitely work in your favor.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
There is somebody with the name Oppo CPH2643. Can you please introduce yourself and please
Yes,
ask?
good evening, sir. That's the handle model number. My name is Shiv Kumar, and my sincere apologies. I couldn't log in by 4:30, but in the interest of time, I see a lot of questions because I logged in some 15 minutes back. Questions which is from the midway. So I certainly understand that there is a recorded link wherein I can go and
Sure,
check
yeah.
onto it. Because my questions are very basic. I have applied for the executive doctoral program in the
Right.
area of organizational behavior and human resource management. I work as a HR learning and development individual.
Sure.
So just want to understand what are the next steps. If that has been already answered and we will have this video recorded link where I can always go and check onto it, will sound really great, sir, for me. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Kumar. Most of that has been already mentioned by me in the presentation, what next and how that has to be done. So please go through the video link. In case you still have some doubts, we will be happy to answer them. So please reach out to me in, regarding this particular thing. Right. So in
Thank you
case
so much, sir. Yeah, certainly, sir. We'll always reach you.
we don't see anybody raising their hands right now. So what we will do is I will just go through all the questions which are there in the chat. If they are other than what we have already discussed, we will just try to answer this, right? So maybe we can go from the start. Okay, this we have already answered. This PhD students. Admission process happen only once. Yes, Miss Brinda, the admission happens only once a year right now. Maybe later we might think of having it more than once. It's there. Ms. Vidya, may I know whether the interview will be based on research proposal? Depending upon your area and the topic that you have presented, yes, the interview will be based upon your research proposal as well as in the area of your research. Right? So in which area you have applied. So they would want to understand your viewpoint when you are applying on that. Okay? Mr. or Miss Mullah completed bachelor's in civil engineering under the area of strategy, detailed research proposal. Okay, have I applied under the right domain? So yes, I mean, strategy would want to understand about this particular thing to especially to enhance sustainability. Does fresher candidates with recent candidates stand a chance? The previous examples in the institute. Yes, there are examples where a fresher has been admitted into this particular thing. So don't worry about that. As I said, largely we look at two things. One is your preparation, the other one is your intent. It is not necessarily that always your credentials will indicate those things. So don't worry about that. How many admissions of executive PhD per area? We've said maybe 2 to 3 per year. Or further. Yeah. Leave, there are specified number of leaves that are given. I think there are 30 leaves per year that are allowed during coursework, and if per course there is a specific thing per course that is you have to be. I think if you are doing especially MBA level courses, there are a maximum of 5 leaves that you can take during for that particular course, right? Is there a hostel facility for married people? No, not right now. So individual, if you are an individual and the spouse is not living with you, then the individual can stay in a hostel. That's not a problem at all. Not a problem. One individual can stay inside the campus, whether they are married or not. So we don't differentiate based on that. If there are no questions, we are happy to take any other questions online. You can send us an email at DPR office at amtrichy.
Sir, just a question. Just a question.
Yes, Mr. Giri.
after the filling the form, we have to complete the recommendation. Recommendator जो होंगे उनका response within 15th of the Feb, or after we can do that thing also.
Yes, Mr. Girish. So they have to complete it before February 15. Please speak to them who you are as reference.
And one more thing, they are related to the industry or anyone?
Anyone, need not necessarily be industry. They could be faculty, they could be industry people. As long as they can recommend your candidature at IIM Trichy, that's enough.
They can be retired banker also.
Yes, perfectly fine.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Hello, sir. This is Brenda. Just last one question.
Yeah.
So I just have a doubt regarding the recommenders, that part in the application form. I am a recent graduate, and the only people I know are my professors, and there is one working professional who helped me with the coming up with a proposal. So can I recommend that person also, and what will be the procedure for that?
So you just have to give their email ID as part of the recommendation. There is a form that is there. You just have to provide their email ID, their phone number, and details of them, and an email will be directly sent to them. You are not involved in that, so they will directly send us the recommendation form. So just inform them that this particular process has to be completed before February 15th.
Okay, sir. February 25th.
February 15th, yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, retired top management person can be the recommender. Perfectly all right, Mr. Sridhar. So that is not a problem at all. Thank you, everyone. It was very nice interacting with you. Very lively audience, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors to get into a PhD program. We hope that you see you at IIM Trichy. Even if that is not the case, we hope that all of you get into really good programs, good PhD programs, and all the best for your.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time.
So Hemant, yes, the online application has been extended to February 15th. In case you have applied, that's perfectly all right. Don't worry about that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We have to